All right, so let's talk about the left foot hi-hat exercising, trying to get cool things going on with that. I have a little concept, little saying that I like to say to people, and it goes like this. Everything is worth practicing. Every musical concept that's musically valid, that's going to help you develop a skill, is worth practicing. It's all worth practicing. But not everything is worth spending the time practicing. Now, that comes off as a little bit strange, I know, but hear me out. If your intention is to, let's say, for example, be a bop drummer, okay? Practicing 16th note patterns on a double bass drum, double bass pedal, two bass drums, that's not worth your time. Okay? Is it worth practicing musically speaking? Sure. It's going to help you develop new skills. It's going to open up new doors for you musically. It's going to give you abilities that you didn't have before. But is it worth practicing? Is it worth spending the time practicing? Because by doing that, you're sacrificing the time that you should be spending doing your comping patterns. Right? That's what you should be spending the time on, that left hand, the right foot comping, the independence, keeping a good steady, right? All that stuff. That's what you're supposed to be spending the time on. If you're practicing double bass patterns with a 16th, you're not really going to get anywhere when it comes to what the bread and butter of your gig. Okay. So that's my little rant right there. That leads us to our friend the left foot. Now, our friend the left foot, when we're on our standard drum kit and maybe it's the right foot for you if you're left-handed, just switch around what I'm talking about. When you are playing any kind of a beat, we use the swing as an example. The 2 and the 4 is all we're doing with that hi-hat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 2, 4. So forth and so on. If I'm playing a straight up rock beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Or maybe sometimes I'll do quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right. We don't do a lot of 1 and 2, 3, 4, right? We don't do a lot of that. I'm not saying no one does it. I'm not saying don't learn it. But we don't do a lot of that. It's just not something you're going to see quite often. You're not going to see a lot of drummers when they're just playing good straight up ahead, good old-fashioned rock and roll or good old-fashioned jazz beat. You're not going to hear people shuffles. You're not going to hear people doing these shuffle. You're just not going to hear that. Because it's not only is because it's difficult, but it's just not something that you hear a lot of musically. Now, we got to come back to that question. Is this worth practicing? Yes. Is it worth the time practicing when it comes to playing more intricate, syncopated, different patterns with the left foot or the right foot, depending again, left hand, right-handed, however you play? Is it worth doing this with the hi-hat? And that's an answer that's going to depend on what your musical goals are. If you know you're never going to do this, let's say you're a punk drummer, okay? You're not going to be doing any kind of intricate hi-hat stuff. Most of your stuff is going to be, right? Or that's what you're going to be doing. You're not going to be doing a lot of like stuff like that. It just ain't going to happen. You're just not going to, no need for that, right? So Going back now again to my 4x4 concept that I've been talking about with the four idioms, four limbs. When we get to that left foot part of it, some people might think maybe I should just not bother with the left foot all that much. I agree with you. Some people might think maybe I want to take that left foot in a really cool, more advanced direction. I agree with you. It's all what you're trying to accomplish. It's all what you're trying to do. Where would that left foot, say taking the left foot independence to higher levels, where would that fit in? Prog rock, for sure. Some much more advanced jazz, bop kind of concepts. But I think, my opinion, more than anything, Latin American music, Latin jazz, things that are informed by the Latin. Wow, my drumsticks seem to have bent. Anyway, things that are more informed by that Latin thing. And the reason why, and I'll go to my trusty cowbell pedal here, is because if you're going to be doing some serious independence, you're going to talk about independence, look to Latin drum set drummers who play Latin patterns, who play mambo, who play cha-cha, who play bachata, who play guaguancó, I don't even, salsa, merengue, samba. That's not even truly, that's Brazilian, but you get what I'm saying. I for some reason, I can't think of all the ones I want to say. But when you start to get to that point, you start to get some more intricate patterns going with your cowbells and with blocks and things like that maybe you're going to be playing on the left foot. So maybe, I'm not going to demonstrate this because I don't have the skill, but maybe you're going to be playing some, like here's your basic Latin pattern on the bass drum is. Maybe you're playing a bell pattern with that. And then on top of that, you're playing the clave. Right? Or depends on what the clave pattern you're playing, whether it's the rumba clave or the son clave or the bossa nova clave. You want to get that independence going. You want to be able to use that left foot on top of playing other things with other three limbs to really have some magic independence going. That's why I say go listen to some players. Go listen to like Horacio El Negro Hernandez. Go listen to Bobby Sanabria. Go check out Bobby Sanabria's YouTube videos where he shows you how to play mambo, cha-cha-cha, all these different guaguancó, all these different patterns on the drum kit. It's mind-blowing, the independence that this man has between his four limbs. That he's able to, he sounds like a full like ensemble of drummers, just one man going. It's astonishing. So who's the other? This is I forget her first name, but her last name is Martinez. Check her out as well. I don't know why I can't think of her first name right now, but she's got some really great books that are a little bit more advanced for me, too advanced for me, but maybe you can get something out of that. Go check them out. So I think that learning some hi-hat stuff, independence-wise, in my 4x4 situation, starting with the rock and roll idiom, as always, and doing some hi-hat independence, just starting with those quarter notes, then moving on to those eighth notes, it's something that I think will benefit you. And again, if you're never going to use it, don't. As I've said, everything is worth practicing. Not everything is worth spending the time on practicing, because your time is, first of all, it's quite limited. It's finite. We only have so many years on this earth. None of us know how long we have. And even those of us who live into be 100 and are still active at 100 years old still only have so much time. Okay? And you only have so much free time between working and sleeping and washing and drying and cleaning and socializing and going to see baseball games and hanging out with our friends and playing with the dog and whatever, exercising, whatever we're doing. We only have so much time to play our drum kit. And some of us play other instruments. You can see, I've got a whole bunch of instruments behind me, and I do noodle on all of them. I'm not very good at them, but I do play them. So our time is limited. Don't waste your time learning a skill just because you think, well, it's in the book and I need to learn it, or oh, I saw this other drummer who can do this. I saw Steve Gadd do this crazy cool lick with his, going. If you're not going to use it, don't do it. All right, just don't bother with it. Stay with those basic things and stay with the things you're going to use. So I've talked a mile a minute. I've talked a whole bunch. Hopefully you got something out of that little rant. And what are we at? 10 minutes. 10 minutes of nonsense. Let's take a look at the exercises. Got my trusty syncopation book. I've got chapter 1. I've got quarter notes. So, the 4x4 concept. Rock idiom. We all know by now what that means on our right hand, on our left hand, and on our right foot. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The 1 and 3 are on the bass drum. Steady eighth notes are on that right hand. And the accented backbeat, the 2 and the 4, on my left hand. We're isolating the left foot. First exercise is steady quarter notes on the left foot. So, sit. The next exercise, only playing the 2, 3, and the 4 on the hi-hat. So, whoops, I done messed up. That's why these exercises are important. Next one is only playing the 3 and the 4 on my left foot. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4 is only playing it on the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 5, I'm only playing it on the 1. Exercise 6 on the 1 and the 2. Exercise 7 on the 1, 2, 3. Exercise 8. Exercise 8 is on the 1, the 3, and the 4. I got to rest on the 2, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 9 is on the 1, 2, and then the 3 has a rest, and I play on the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 10. I only play the 2 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to play every single exercise, but you get the idea. Very simple concept. All right, now, let's get weird. Let's go to lesson 4, which is where we introduce the 8th note. Exercise 1 has an 8th note after the 1, and then everything else is just a straight quarter note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is where we're starting to get a little bit weird when it comes to the left foot. Because up until now, we've just been playing quarter notes with the left foot, which, as I said at the beginning of the video, is a pretty standard thing to be doing. Either on the 2 and 4, variant 1 of the rock beat, or on all the quarter notes, variant 2 of the rock beat. Okay? Now we're doing something with an 8th note. Now we're throwing in a whole different kind of a thing that we don't often do with our left foot. We're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so. Exercise 2, where we do it after the 2. So now we're doing. Exercise 3. Exercise 4. And then exercise 5 is eighth notes on the 1 and the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. All right, seems simple, and it is. It's very simple. It's very straightforward, but it's getting weird on me because I'm not used to doing this, and my left foot is getting a little wonky. You can't tell from where I'm playing here, but I can feel it. I can feel it. It's getting wonky. I don't have the endurance to take this as far as and to go out and play a quick tempo, something maybe a 6 or 7 minute song all the way through like that. I don't have that endurance. My left foot is already starting to give in. So that tells me that this is something that I need to work on physically if I want to do this. And it's also telling me something else. And that is that if I want to keep this from splashing, okay, if I want to just have it go down, down, good chick sound as we call it, then I got to pay attention. And that requires more muscular effort, especially when I'm getting to things like, and that's why my leg is getting tired. Because it isn't like on the bass drum where I'm just laying in. Where I can just relax that right foot. I'm trying to keep something from going splash. Right? Right? So the next exercise where it's on the 2 and the 3. Okay? So forth and so on. Why am I bringing this up? Well, not only because I'm explaining why you need to have more diligence with that left foot, but because we're reaching a point where we have an option. And that is a more advanced technique of doing a splashing kind of thing on purpose, which is a very common figure that people do with hi-hats, right? Right? So you got some fun patterns you can start working with now. So let's say I take exercise 1 with the 1 and 2, 3, 4. Well, what if I were to splash the 1 and then clamp it back down for the end? So 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Or splash the and. Clamp down the 1, splash the and, clamp down the 2. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Or I could splash the 2. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 Now we're getting some more musical things going on. But before we get there, we got to go back to the quarter notes. So let's go back in time to the quarter notes. And let's practice those quarter notes with different splashing patterns. We'll start with exercise 1, which is steady 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I just splash 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Let's try it. Pretty fun. Let's splash 2. Let's splash 3. Let's splash 4. Let's splash 1 and 3. Let's splash 2 and 4. You see what I mean? Then we can splash 2 and 3. We can splash 3 and 4. We can splash 1 and 2. So we can 1 and 2. Let's try 1 and 2. So it's a little difficult, right? But it's a really cool skill to get good at. Because let's see, once we've practiced all the stuff in lesson 1, and you know what I would even say, I'm just coming up with this as I go, because the way this is written, just splash, use this as a splash pattern thing. You could go back in and say, I'm going to play every note, every quarter note, but I'm going to splash the ones that are written. So for exercise number 2, there's a rest on the 1, then there's a note for 2, 3, and 4. Well, in this case, you still play the rest, so to speak. That's the down. But then all the ones that are written, 2, 3, and 4, those are splashed. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 3, just 3 and 4 are written. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's challenging. I'm still a beginner at this, so you can see I'm having a little bit of trouble. Now let's skip ahead to exercise, or lesson, I should say, lesson 4 in the syncopation book. Now we're at the 8th note patterns. So now we've got 1 and 2, 3, 4. Just as I was saying before, you can, or you can choose not to splash any of those and splash number 3. So you can go 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, splash 4, or splash number 4, 1 and 2, 3, splash, 1 and 2, 3, splash. And of course, apply that while you're playing. So and there you go. Those are all the different, not all, I shouldn't say notes, never all. Those are some of the things you can do with your left foot to start coming up with different, more fun, interesting things, and practice that in the shuffle idiom as well as the straight ahead 8th note rock idiom. You got the shuffle idiom, the rock shuffle idiom, right? You got the and you can practice it in the jazz idiom too, which I haven't even done. I wonder how that would sound. So I can't separate my right hand when I'm doing that. But, that's slow it down, practice it, keep going. And I'd be able to do that if I just slow down and practice. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Almost any technical aspect of music on any instrument, okay? On any instrument, save maybe for the voice, that's a different thing. But almost any technical aspect on any instrument, if you have the physical ability and the mental, the intellectual and physical ability to accomplish it, can be learned. almost anybody who has 4 limbs or even 3 or even 2 limbs, okay, but those limbs are functional. You have the patience, you have the mental bandwidth. Some of us don't, okay? We've got ADHD, some of us have certain learning difficulties, learning disabilities, cognitive disabilities. That notwithstanding, if you have the basic ability physically and mentally to be able to do something, you can learn to do any technical concept. Any. You just have to practice it. You got to practice it correctly, and you got to practice it slowly, or I should say slowly first and correctly. That's all it takes. This is a patience game. That's all I can really say about that right now. This is a patience game. And as somebody who doesn't have patience, as somebody who has ADHD and PTSD and major depressive disorder, and here I am almost 51 years old, and I've got maybe the skills of someone who's only been playing for a year, even though I've been on and off of this instrument for over 30 years, because I have had issues applying myself, issues staying focused, and issues staying steady and playing every day and practicing consistently. I am where I am. And I had to learn to accept that. You will be where you are. But it just takes that willingness to go and to do. And if that means that today all you're able to do is just your steady eighth note pattern on your ride cymbal or on your hi-hat, and just your 2/4 backbeat, then practice that the best that you can practice it. Keep it steady, keep it correct, use the metronome, pay attention to your body, pay attention to your mechanics, make sure you're not doing it, relaxed, proper form. Always focus on the proper form, always focus on doing it correctly, doing it slowly and steadily, and you will get good at a technical aspect. That means that the last bit, musicality, creativity, those are things that come from in here and in here. That can't be taught to you. You can be helped along the way, but that's something that comes from you. So how you apply your technical ability, that's the individual thing, and that's up to you. And that's our half hour. Okay, I hope you got something out of this. I certainly didn't, because I'm an idiot. But there you go. Thanks for playing.